Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Yasodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Natira Manachari Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajagacharya Astottar Shri Sri Madhavai Charanarvinda, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Skan Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayad Mudiraye Nashtaprayestu Avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistuke Yam Syanubhavam Akilam Sutisaramekam Adhyatma Deepamatitir Satam Tamandam Samsarina Karunaya Purana Guyam Tam Vyasa Sonamupayami Guru Muninam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the status of the creation of fourth order, Chapter 21, Instructions by Maharaj Prithu, text number 51. Adhyanastamasa paras Vayopada pasadita prabhu Ramyatam nashta drishtinam Karmavir daiva sangitai Adhyanastamasa paras Vayopasadita prabhu Bhamyatam nasta drishtinam Karmabhir daiva sangitai Adya nastamasa paras Vayopasadita prabhu Bhamyatam nasta drishtinam Karmabhir daiva sangitai
Adyanastamasa paras Vayopasadita prabhu Ramyatam nashta drishtinam Karmabhir daiva samyitai
Adyanastamasa paras
Vayopasadita prabhu
Ramyatam nashta drishtinam Karmavir daiva sangitai
Adyanastamasa paras Vayopasadita prabhu Ramyatam nashta drishtinam Karmabhir daiva sangitai That is Adyanastamasaparas Adyanastamasaparas Tayopasadita Prabhu Brahmyatam Nashtakrishtinam Karma Vedaiva Samhita. Adya, today, Naha, of us, Tamasaha, of the darkness of material existence, Araha, the other side, Tvaya, by you, Upasaditaha, increased, Prabhu, O Lord, Bhramyatam, who are wandering, Nasta Drishtinam, who have lost their goal of life, Karmavehi, on account of past deeds, Daiva Sangitai, arranged by superior authority. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The citizens continued, today you have opened our eyes and revealed how to cross to the other side of the ocean of darkness. By our past deeds and by the arrangement of superior authority, we are entangled in a network of primitive activities and have lost sight of the destination of life. Thus, we have been wandering within the universe. Please repeat. The citizen continued, today you have opened our eyes and revealed how to cross to the other side of the ocean of darkness. By our past deeds and by the arrangement of superior authority, we are entangled in a network of primitive activities and have lost sight of the destination of life. Thus, we have been wandering within the universe. Purport. In this verse, the words Karma Vir Daiva Sangitai are very significant. Due to the quality of our actions, we come to the association of the modes of material nature, and by superior arrangement, we are given a chance to enjoy the fruitive results of such activities in different types of bodies. In this way, having lost sight of their destinations in life, all living entities are wandering in different spaces throughout the universe. Sometimes getting birth in a lower species and sometimes existence in higher planetary systems. Thus, we are all wandering since time immemorial. It is by the grace of the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead that we get the clue of devotional life. And thus, progressive success in our life begins. Here, this is admitted by the citizens of King Prithu. In full consciousness, they admit the benefit they have derived from the activities of Maharaj Prithu. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistan Sthapitan Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamai Andadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Sri Guru Vaisnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastuti Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Deve Pranamami Hari Pri Vancha Kalpataro Vikshakripa Sindhu Vaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavade Paschatya Desatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna everyone. This is beautiful morning here discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam. Prithu Maharaj's instructions to his citizens. So in Varnasrama Dharma, when people recognize their specific quality and execute services according to their nature, born out of the association with material nature, modes of material nature, they are always guided by a qualified leader in the society. So the leader of the society is the head of the state, government, or king. In the previous age, there would be monarchism. Very strong, powerful, well-disciplined king would rule the state, the people, and everyone would follow their duties, their dharma, their varnasrama dharma accordingly, and they would be satisfied by performing such duties. Even though the rulers are always Kshatriyas, the administrative class is always Kshatriya, they lead. Even though they receive instructions and knowledge by the Brahmanas, the head of the societies, but even Brahmanas are under Kshatriya's rule. If the leader is corrupted or deviated from the scriptural injunctions and try to enjoy the power or whatever he has, then even Brahmanas become spoiled. Even Brahmana lose the path. They also become polluted. Brahmanas are the one who gives instruction, guidance, knowledge to Kshatriyas to rule. But if the ruler Kshatriya class of the people is not perfect or not following the instructions, injunctions, and they rule whimsically, then in that situation, even Brahmanas get polluted and they lose their constitutional position. They do not follow what they are supposed to follow. This is the very integral relationship between the ruler and Brahmanas class and other other Varna and ashramas also follow the same rule. Vaisya will no longer become Vaisyas, and Sudras are no longer become Sudras. So the head of the state or the government must be Krishna conscious in order to keep all the other classes of society in a right track, so that even Brahmanas can function very well. So this is exactly what Prithu Maharaj is doing here. His citizens are actually understanding what he is trying to establish in the state. And the citizens are admitting themselves that because of our previous leader who was not showing us right path for us, we were under the mode of darkness and we have lost our path. We did not know where to go, how to cross this side, darkness side. And now you have opened our eyes. Chakshur un militam ena. Our eyes have been opened now. Just like a spiritual master opens the eyes of his disciples, we pray every day, Om Ajnana Timiran Dasya. This is the position that we all are born in the mode of darkness. And we do not know what to do. We are completely fascinated by this material world, the facilities that are available in this material world. And we completely forget about our prayers that we made in the womb of mother. And our all knowledge is covered by lust, greed, anger, and everything. Just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dhumena avrite banhir, Dhumena avrito banhir, Yathad darsho male nacha. Every fire is covered by smoke. Just like a mirror is covered by dust. When the mirror is covered by dust, we cannot see our face because it is covered. When we make a fire, people may not have much experience. They have a gas. Gas does not produce any smoke most of the time. But when we burn some firewoods together and smokes come, every fire is covered with smoke. Yatho vena avritam garvas. Just like an embryo is covered by garva, the womb of mother, tatha tenedam avritam. Just like that, a soul is covered by lust. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhava. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. As the lust is the greatest enemy of intelligent person or any spirit soul. So we have to uncover that lust from our consciousness and rise above. Nistrayi guna bhavarjuna. He was Krishna was giving instruction to Arjuna that become free from these modes of nature. Rajaguna, Sataguna, Tamaguna. Come out from that. Then only you can understand what I am talking. So the government should be Krishna conscious. That was the very important. That's why Prabhupada stressed a lot that this knowledge is for the head of the state, head of the government. They should study our books, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and they should rule their people on the basis of this knowledge if they want peace and harmony in the society. Even a spiritual organization become corrupted and bad when the government is not following the right path. You can see any spiritual organization in all over the world, they are reflecting the qualities of their government in different countries. If you go to India, if you are in America, you go to Europe, in Africa, everything like whatever government is, if the government is very nice and going towards the spiritual path and having some rule and regulations in the society, just like after Modi come in India, everything is like blooming, coming up. ISKCON is flourishing like anything. Thousands of temples have been opened. Millions of devotees are taking up Krishna consciousness. So it's really connected, government and the citizens. So we always need a right leader. So within our society, we have our own system. We have a devotee leaders. They guide us, they instruct us, and they always inspire us to follow the right path, just like Srila Prabhupada is our greatest leader. And when we practice Krishna consciousness, under the instruction or the guidance of a bona fide person, a guru, spiritual master, this darkness of ignorance can be removed from our consciousness. We can come out from this greatest enemy of the soul, that's lust, and we can practice Krishna consciousness with a steady mind. And Yamunacharya is instructing everyone, my dear Lord Sri Krishna, please come and stay in my mind right now, while I am still young and energetic. But when I'm old and suffering from so many illness out of my own body, my mind, it is very hard for me to remember you. My throat will be filled with kapha, vayu, pitta, all this bad mucus. How can I remember you? It is impossible. So now is the time that you come and reside in my mind and then wake me up. That is his prayers. And if you read Mukunda Mala Stotram, beautiful prayers are there. That is the full of devotees realization why we need to practice Krishna consciousness now. But in material world, we completely do not understand about this ultimate reality that one day everything we accumulate, everything we earn here will go in vain. They will collapse, and then our position will be uncertain. We do not know where we are going. It is said that vipado naiva vipadaha, sampado naiva sampada. Vipada Vismaranam Vishnu, Sampan Narayana Smriti. So whatever miseries that we consider are our problem in this material world are not really vipada, they are not really miseries. And whatever we consider is our wealth, our property, our gain in this material world, being Krishna unconscious, those are not real assets, real properties, or real wealth. And the real misery is that when we forget Vishnu, Vipado Vismaranam Vishnu, when we forget Krishna, that is our real miseries. And Sampan Narayana Smritihi, the real asset, the wealth that we can have is the remembrance of Krishna. Narayana Smriti. That's the real goal, their real wealth. So nobody knows this fact. As Kali Yuga progress, people become more and more forgetful about Krishna, and they're running everywhere to find Krishna. Because the only reason people are struggling so hard is to become happy in this world by any means, the only goal is to become satisfied and happy and enjoy the life. And Krishna says, I am the source of your happiness. I am your best friend. I am your best well-wisher. Without you coming to me, your search of happiness is impossible. It will be a waste of your energy and time. Srama eva hi kevalam. If you do not invoke, or if you do not create, or if you do not attract it to me, if there is no any rati or taste, if you do not develop that taste to me, to know me, about me, to come to me, then whatever you do in this material world will be just a waste of time. So it is really very, very important to become a serious devotee in our life. Most of the time we just take it for granted. We just do chant our rounds just to complete our number. Oh, did you chant your 16? Yes, I did. That is like a parrot saying, Gopi Krishna Kau. Prabhupada says that story. When a parrot is trained and he can say, Gopi Krishna Kau, Radhe Radhe Hare Krishna. I have heard parrot chanting the beautiful names. Like that. But when cat come and just grab the neck of the cat, and then parrot speaks his language now. Parrot speaks really. Yeah. So we should not have this kind of chanting. We have to observe in the sound of the holy name. So in order to come to this position of seriousness of chanting holy name, we should first realize that, yes, this human life is very rare and very, very meaningful. Arthadam, Prahlad Maharaj, even a small boy could understand that. This is rarely achieved. It is adrubam, it is temporary. But even though it is temporary, but it is arthadam, it is very, very meaningful. What is the meaning of human life? It is God realization. To realize God. Why do we need to realize God? Because we have to deliver ourselves from this miserable condition in this material world. We have to rescue ourselves. And this rescue process begins when a big good heart person comes with a weapon. If somebody is drowning in the water, in the floody river, the big river, if we just go into the edge of the river, bank of the river, and come, I help you, then we cannot rescue the person. We must have some kind of tools, weapons, like big long rope or helicopter. Come there and drop the rope, grab it, and then pull it up. So this is exactly the job of a spiritual master. That is why Prabhupada is stressing here. It is only possible by the mercy of a spiritual master that one can come out from this ignorance position. And for the endeavoring devotees, one Yamunacharya says that when you become very old, your throat is filled with bile, mucus, air. How can you chant the name? And Krishna is answering this question to Mother Earth in Baraha Purana. Baraha Purana is one of the major Purana. And Lord Sri Krishna, Vishnu, is talking to Bhudevi. Bhudevi is Mother Earth. He says that, Edi Batadi Dosena Bhaktaham cha mad Smaret. If my devotees are forgetting me, or they are unable to utter my name at the time of death because of Kapha Vata Pitta Adi Dosam Yadi Batadi means Bata means bile, Adi means extract, etc., etc., means mucus and air. When my devotees' throat is filled with these things and they are unable to take my name, what happened to them? He says that Aham Smarami Mad Bhaktam. I will remember my devotees. Don't worry. Nayami Paramam Gatim. And then I'll give them the highest destination, liberation, the moksha or best, back home, back to God. But in order to be qualified, to be remembered by Krishna at the end of our life, we have to remember Him to the rest of our life when we live in this material world. We have to chant His name really seriously, sincerely, and attentively. Then we can realize the power of holy name. And we can survive in spiritual life, even though the government, the head of the state are not Krishna conscious, and they are not at all in this day. That is why this International Society for Krishna Consciousness was created in order to protect the practicing sincere devotees within a good sangha. Satam prasangam mama virya sambidu bhavanti rit karna rasayana katha tajjo sanadat apavarga vatmanihi shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramisyati. So in order to have the best association, this organization was created by Srila Prabhupada. And it was the desire of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is just like an extended pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though we are 500 plus years far away from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but whatever is going on in this Sankirtan mission in this world now is Mission Chaitanya, extended Chaitanya mission. So right now it is a Mayapur festival going on. A lot of devotees from all over the world have gathered together and they are going for Navadvip Mandala Parikrama. They are hearing different pastimes of Lord Chaitanya every day and chanting and dancing all day and enjoying prasadam at the end of the day, breakfast, dinner, lunch, 3 times. And one of the Maharaj was saying, if you want to enjoy, if you want to gratify your senses, it is a complete sense enjoyment in this Navadvip Mandala Parikrama. You can gratify your sense in fullest content, and then you become Krishna conscious. And go back home and preach this message to all the other people. So this kind of activities is only possible when one is really merciful. Preaching act is not like some kind of business. One must have that feeling that one must have to see that suffering condition of the soul. Then only out of their compassion they can come out in order to extinguish that burning fire from their life. Samsara dava nalali loka pranaya karunya. Karunya means with mercy. Karuna. Deliver somebody with karuna. A Vaishnava cannot see somebody's suffering or miseries. That is the nature of a Vaishnava. They cannot see somebody just suffering and being lost in this material world. But in material world, people's nature is if you are fallen, if you are lost, if you are suffering, that gives us pleasure. Para dukkha sukhi, para sukha dukhi. When Chaitanya Lila is struggling in her life a lot and not even able to chant Hare Krishna, and I feel, wow, very nice. She is not, at least not become a good devotee. In material world, that's how people think. But in a spiritual world, it's opposite. Let me help. When I was in Nepal, I was like completely in darkness of ignorance. I would think I am Hindu, I know everything, I know Krishna from my birth, and we know Bhagavad Gita, but I had no idea about chanting Hare Krishna, um, following four regulative principles, studying Bhagavad Gita under the guidance, accepting spiritual master. We have a family guru, the caste guru, system guru. They gave me Gayatri mantra when I was 10 or 9 or 11 years old. And my grandmother would always tell me that chant Gayatri every time, every day. There was something, but it was not at all in the level of practicing devotional service and understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and we must have some love for Him. It was all just for granted. And a devotee from Russia, from nowhere, he comes to Nepal and chants in the street. By seeing the foreigners dressing up in a saffron, with sikha, and wearing wooden shoes, speaking Sanskrit slokas and explaining in very nicely, I was very much attracted. I was not attracted by other Nepali preachers. This is Krishna's trick to attract fallen soul into Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada came to the West and he went back to India to really make a strong foundation of Krishna consciousness with his Western disciples. And Indians were awakened by seeing Westerners engaged in devotional activities. Some other people in India, especially those who are strictly believe in this Varnasrama dharma, the caste system, even some Vaishnava sampradayas, they do not appreciate Western devotees are practicing Krishna consciousness. They always make fun of ISKCON and they criticize us for distributing this Gayatri mantra initiation, Brahman initiation to the Westerners. But they do not realize that Krishna or God is for everybody. He is a Jagat Pati. He is not Indian Pati or Nepali Pati or this Pati. He is a Jagat Pati. He is the owner, the Swami, the master of all universes. Not only this earthly planet, he is a master for unlimited universes. This earth is very tiny, small planet in this whole system. And God is one for all. And God loves everybody. And by practicing devotional service, any fallen personality, you cannot even imagine how much bad things he has committed in his life. But just by yasya smarana matrena, just by remembering Krishna, even not performing a complete devotional service in a nice way, just by remembering Krishna, Janma samsara bandhanat, one can be freed from Janma mrityu jara vyadi. What to talk about one perform loving devotional service with sincere heart. Such person can attain the best destination, free from all these miseries, and can become happy all the time. So this is what we are doing, and this is our great privilege and good fortune created by a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. And as a result, we are here today listening together and discussing about Supreme Personality of Godhead. Imagine yourself how fortunate we all are at this moment. Bahunam janmanam anti Jnanavanamam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlava. Durlava is very rare, but Sudurlava is very rare, really rare. One who understand that Krishna, the Vasudeva, is the ultimate cause of all causes, the goal of life. Such soul is really rare. That's what the message from Krishna. And this is, we will end here. Do you have any question or discussion before we close? Maharaj, please, go ahead.
I very much appreciated the point you made about the how if there's some problem in the government, if there's some corruption in the government, selfish motivation in the government, that it corrupts everything, and including spiritual institutions. But I was also thinking, reflecting on Srila Prabhupada's instructions, that even within those spiritual institutions, the leadership actually has to follow Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Srila Prabhupada told us on a morning walk in Honolulu, maybe February of '75, so that if the leaders aren't ideal, the GBC's temple presidents, if they're not ideal, then our society simply becomes another fool's paradise.
Yeah.
And that was something he wanted us to avoid. So, you know, we've seen over the last 45 or more years, even more than that, even while Srila Prabhupada was around, how we can mess things up by being careless, by being driven by personal motivation or something like that. So that's something that we also have to be very attentive to. So I really appreciated this point.
I have seen that happening in our society, Maharaj. Some devotees, they act like a devotees, but they involve in gambling and all other kind of stuffs, and sometimes dress up like a devotee and then dance Krishna Krishna, but inside engage in so many other activities. So we need to be careful. If we are not checked by Sadhu Shastra and Guru Bhakya, then we are not leading, we are misleading. Not only misleading, we are putting Prabhupada in a bad position. We are defaming Prabhupada by doing so. We are not a real follower of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Yes, Prabhu.
So we saw with King Vena that he was corrupt, and the Brahmins, by their mantras, ended his life. What if it's the other way around? Well, like you were saying earlier, that the Brahmins themselves were polluted, but the king wasn't. What is the resolution for that?
You mean if the king is polluted, then Brahman?
No, if the Brahmins were polluted, and the king wasn't.
Oh.
And so what would be the resolution to the Brahmins?
If king was right and Brahmanas were polluted? Okay, so in that case, if king has a proper rules and regulation established in the society, then everything follows in a desired way. And there is always some downfall in even Brahminical society. So they are checked by this Shastra, Guru, and other sadhus. They are not by themselves. They also need guidance. That's just Maharaj said. One should always abide by Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Even Brahmanas need that guidance. Yes, Prabhu.
There's an example of what Ramnambhru was talking about in first canto. We see with Shringi and Maharaj Parikshit, Brahmana was wrong, king was right. So therefore, he got checked by his father, who said, "You shouldn't have done this. You know, he's a pious king." And so everyone kind of agreed that, Maharaj Parikshit shouldn't have been cursed. So in that case, it's an example of kind of like what you were talking about. The Brahmins are also checked. It's not that they just have
Right.
complete freedom, but they're checked by the other Brahmanas and also the society as well.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
You were talking about, how sometimes you can parrot by the holy name, chanting and everything. So sometimes that can happen as well, just even with devotional service and like that, where people sort of become like relaxed in a way. Like, okay, I'm Krishna conscious. I got everything down. I know how to chant, read, and all those things. So I'm all set. So it's almost like there's still kind of a little bit of sleep. But there's so much, Srila Prabhupada created this movement, and there's so much more that can be through spreading, whether it's, building a new temple or restaurants, etc. So how can devotees sort of, in a way, not be half asleep and just really maintain that enthusiasm and that creative energy, even if they're not in a leadership position, to still say, hey, I have some ideas, or let's push forward with this? I mean, how can we maintain that? Because the leaders, sometimes they're under so much pressure with so much going on anyway, that, others may need to sort of step forward and, maybe they're being empowered by Krishna somehow. So how can we not be asleep?
We all are an individual soul. So that has to take place individually in our life, that what do I really want in my life? What is my goal of practicing Krishna consciousness? Do I just enjoy my life, or I want to end this repeated birth, death, and all its disease? And so we have to deep dive within ourselves and then analyze, and then be serious and motivate ourselves by seeing everything in this material world all the time, by hearing regularly from the scriptures, and keeping ourselves in the association of devotees, and taking prasadam. These are the regular, normal tools to keep ourselves enthusiastic, and also in nectar of instruction, utsaha nischayat dhairyat tat karma pravartanat. At all time, we should be motivated by enthusiasm, nischaya, determination, dhairya, with patience. Then we can achieve that goal and maintain ourselves always good in Krishna consciousness, not like carried away by modes. Sometime today is very happy, tomorrow is down, and another day again wake up. So we should, this is called inner engineering. We have to do the inner engineering and then talk to ourselves, what do you want? That's why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, hey, my dushta mana, what kind of friend you are? You bad mind. You are always cheating me and taking me away from Krishna. What do you want? How can I serve you? You're slapping with the shoes to his bad mind, to make his mind friend. So it is an individual endeavor, plus when you endeavor, then mercy flows, mercy comes to you to enhance your desire from spiritual master, from Krishna himself, from devotees. So first of all, I should want to become Krishna conscious. Then everything follows. Yes, Prabhu.
That reminds me of Maharaj's main point in class yesterday is if we can always remain affectionate, then it would seem like we wouldn't ever get into the doldrums or stagnant. And so I need to continue reminding myself to always be affectionate.
Yes. And we can only remain affectionate if we are truly practicing Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we cannot have that compassionate mood in our mind. We become puffed or pride or proud or anything like that. So a Vaishnava is by nature, daya, karuna, tapasya, all these things are the inherent qualities of a Vaishnava. It's not artificial qualities that we can practice and we can create on our own. It's natural qualities of a devotees. Why God is compassionate to all living beings and we are his devotees, we are trying to be his devotees, then we must have the same qualities that Krishna has. But if I am having something bad motivation inside and practicing Krishna Bhakti from outside, then I cannot have real compassion. Even if I try, I cannot pretend myself. Is by default, is just like Maharaj, look at him, he cannot pretend to be nice, is naturally coming up. he cannot artificially act like I am compassionate.
Oh, good.
That's his nature because of his being sincere in practicing Krishna consciousness many years. And then he has realized, Asya Anubhavam, Akila Sutasaram Ekam, is a realization, your personal individual realization. That's why we hear from realized soul. Because they have gone through life in so many ways, but ultimately they come to the conclusion that Krishna is ultimate truth. That is their realization and they share that realization to us. And while practicing Krishna Bhakti, we also have same realization at some point and we grow from there. It's all come from sincerity. Honesty is the best policy. That's why they say in English. To be honest. There was one statement. Somebody said, if I tell a lie, a rich man says, if I tell a lie, I have everything in my life. But to be honest, my Lord, I have nothing but you. Everything that I have is just temporary. Mukesh Ambani, the richest man in India, he said the same thing. Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. Hare Krishna. Any questions, any comment? Jai Ho. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.